Welcome back to Moore Gymnasium, home of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. We just saw a wild women's basketball game with the Southern Jaguars coming out on top with a blistering last 4 minutes of action. It's time to turn our attention to the men's side of things as the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats look to bounce back from a loss to Grambling State, and Southern looks to continue their momentum. They have won 5 in a row, including their first 3 SWAC contests of the season. Michael Torello back with you at the broadcasting desk. Henson White alongside me, along with our entire student-run CatEye Network crew here at Moore Gymnasium. Henson, this is going to be an uphill battle for Bethune-Cookman. This Southern squad looks like they could be one of the best in the SWAC this season. What do the Wildcats need to do to get it done? Yeah, this Southern team comes in here with best points margin, one of the best defenses in the SWAC, one of the best offenses in the SWAC, the SWAC's leading point scorer, SWAC's leading assister. We could talk about Southern. But the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats will have to focus on trying to shut down that Southern offense. We can't let them run and gun this whole game. We can't go shot for shot with them. We're down Zion Harmon. He's a day-to-day upper body injury. He's not available for this game. We're going to have to, hopefully figure out the trial by point guard and trial by center stuff we were running earlier against Grambling State. We're going to hope for success early and try to get the energy of Moore Gymnasium. I think the important thing is keeping the energy in the building, because once the fans are kind of tuning out, I think it'll affect the players' mentalities and mindsets. This is one of the toughest places to play in the SWAC. The fans right on top of the action. And so if we can keep that crowd engaged on Greek night and here in Moore Gymnasium. Packed house here. Packed house on both sides. Founders Day for Alpha Kappa Alpha. I had to shout them out just in case I know somebody's listening. Someone's going to go tell their mom. Let's go down to public address announcer Harold Ford and get the Wildcats on the floor. We are ready to rock and roll at Moore Gymnasium. Final game of a SWAC starting 3-game homestand. Wildcats trying to avoid going 1-2 in those 3 games. The women have already gone 1-2. And it's going to be an uphill battle without one of the top players in the SWAC, Zion Harmon. Yeah, we could, sing his praises till the cows come home. A really important player for this Bethune-Cookman team, and was surely missed against Grambling State, but I think Willoughby did a good job in his minutes that he had at replacing him, because obviously they're not going to ask him to try to keep up with the scoring of Zion Harmon. The main thing that we were missing was his assists and his, defensive stealing ability, but we got Damani McIntyre. We have other players who could pick up in that regard. You just got to hope and pray, really, that the point guard situation can get figured out and it's not going to be a major issue going in, further down the season. For Southern, they start the #1 point scorer in the SWAC, Tyrion Joseph, 20.1 points per game. Derek Tezeno also starts along with Brandon Davis, Jalen Reynolds, and T.J. Damasi, who has only played a couple games this season but leads the Southern Jaguars in rebounds, assists, and steals. He also leads the SWAC in assists. And away we go. Southern in the light blue, trimmed in gold and white. Wildcats in the home white, trimmed in maroon and gold. Southern attacks the basket to viewers left, and we are underway. A turnaround jumper is splashed home for Demasi.
Immediately a tough shot made by Southern.
Those are the kind of shots the Wildcats are going to have to get to go on their side of the floor. Willoughby, hand off to Sean Dyson. He has been excellent this season and gets the reach-in called against Tyron Joseph.
Yeah, and obviously the energy for Southern is there. Even after that foul call, the team rallying behind them. You know, Wildcats are going to have, as you said, an uphill battle, but I don't think they aren't ready for it. I think they came in prepared, you know, game planning. Coach Theus definitely, you know, had more time to figure out what he wanted to do.
Oh, Ward and Dyson run into each other. It's not a backcourt violation. Wildcats keep it alive, but Dyson coughs the ball up to Zeno. Demasi, all alone up top. Hands to a wide open Tyron Joseph for three, and it's 5-0 Southern.
He shot that from a Damian Lillard range. Wasn't even near the three-point line when he pulled up.
Joseph shoots the ball at 29.4% from three. It's another turnover for Bethune-Cookman. Joseph again, heat check type three, and that will just go out of bounds. He is one of few players in the SWAC that has attempted over 100 three-pointers to this point in the season.
So he's got to have the green light from there, and the Wildcats certainly know that.
But when he scores the majority of his team's points, he's got to have the green light. Dyson in the corner, too strong. Ward flashed through, couldn't get the rebound. Here comes Joseph attacking the basket to Zeno, up and under. That's a beautiful finish.
Bounce pass into that tough finish. Goes up and under the basket, sort of a reverse layup without going, you know, from side to side based on the baseline.
You talked about the energy in Moore Gymnasium, a 7-0 run for Southern to start the game. That'll dampen the mood a little bit, but Deshaun Dyson gets the Wildcats on the board.
Slowing down play of the Jaguars, rather.
Demasi stopping and going and getting fouled is Brandon Davis, and Reggie Ward collects his first foul. Southern has started 3 of 4 from the field, shooting 44.2% as a team. Southern is near the top in most offensive categories, second in points per game, first in scoring margin, second in field goal percentage as a team, both of those only behind UAPB, and second in steals per game, only behind Bethune-Cookman. Cookman at 12.3, Southern at 10.6. And they already have 2. To start this game, it's 9-2 Jags.
Both shots made by Brandon Davis, the Texas State transfer and Louisiana native.
Hetty attacks. Excuse me, that's Dyson, and gets the finish.
And we saw him do this to start out the game against Grambling. Really took point as the focal point of the offense, and you know, took most of the scoring.
Another 3, Joseph, that time no good, and it's Wildcat ball, last touch by Jalen Reynolds, the senior from Darien, Georgia. Ward out high. Reggie, one of the 3 Chicago natives on this team. Here's another one, Jacoby Hetty. As the Wildcats run this aggressive weave at the top of the key, Dyson escapes to his left, misses everything on the 3. The ball bounces out of bounds and belongs to the Jags. That one would have brought the roof off the joint if he'd hit it.
Really tough shot he was going for. Got a lot of space off of it, but you know, all that momentum to switch it and try to put it into that shot. It's once again, very tough shot he was going for. We've seen him hit it, or at least something similar against Grambling, but
But it's, again, those low percentage shots. The Wildcats never really got into the paint on that possession. Step back, Joseph, front iron, it rolls around, and Ward grabs the rebound.
Everyone's kind of going for heat checks to start out the game.
Including Deshaun Dyson, who knocks one down.
I think that means he has a light flame going. Nothing crazy to start it out.
The Wildcats have closed to within 2 after being down 9-2. Zeno attacks. Over to Damasi. Down low, Jalen Reynolds working on Elijah Hulsey, and the floater is no good off the backboard.
And that's a good job by Hulsey to not foul.
Hetty in transition. That's great transition defense to stop the ball from Damasi. And he almost gets the steal, but Hetty with the fancy footwork. Underneath it goes. Reggie Ward is clobbered, and he will go to the free throw line. We almost saw Air Ward again, just like we did in the FAMU game.
Every student in the building got up with Reggie Ward. You know, he still gets the foul, and, you know, going to the line after this media break here.
Home conference play continues for BCU. Saturday, January 27th for a SWAC doubleheader. Come out and catch all the BCU hoops action as we host Jackson State for a pair of critical SWAC contests. The women are set to tip things off at 2 p.m. with the men set to follow at 4. Tickets start at $15. They're free with your student ID. Can't make it some more? Catch all the action live on youtube.com/CatEye Network. Well, about as many people as can physically be possible are packed into Moore Gymnasium right now. Great atmosphere for this men's game. Hopefully it can carry BCU to a win at home against a really tough Southern opponent who we've seen their modus operandi right now. Yeah. They want to shoot the 3 early and often.
Yeah, they have not hesitated from beyond the arc. 3 for 7 as a whole, 1 for 4 from beyond the arc to start it out. All 4 of those from Joseph, who definitely is just throwing them up for fun right now. I mean, and so is Deshaun Dyson, 3 for 4, 1
Joseph
for 2.
scores 20.1 points per game. The closest on Southern is Brandon Davis at 10.7. So it really is almost a one-man army in a sense for Tyrion Joseph.
Yeah, he is the focal point of this offense, you know. Definitely a leading player for, you know, SWAC player of the year at this early point in the season, obviously. But, you know, you got to shut him down. And if he shoots poorly this whole game, you know, Wildcats will have a real chance. I don't think people thought they'd be in this game at this point. So they're already proving some people wrong.
Yeah, Tyrion Joseph, the junior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but don't let the hometown fool you. He's been at 3 schools in 3 years. Started his career at Austin P. Actually, 4 schools in 4 years, my apologies. Then Radford, then East Central Community College, and now back to Southern University, where he is coming off of a career-high 33-point night against FAMU on Saturday.
SWAC Player of the Week honors after that performance.
Damuse in the corner, he's trapped and throws the ball into the backcourt, and it's a backcourt violation as Wilkins touches up. Whoa. I'm not sure why Southern still has the ball.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that. It's the Southern ball up by 1.
Guess they're saying it wasn't backcourt, and then just recycling possession for them.
Inadvertent whistle.
Oh, wow.
Spin by Damasi. To Zeno, open for 3. Good.
Well-worked possession. A nice spin move to open up the space. Get the help defense. You have an open teammate, finds them, makes that 3 look easy.
We saw in the women's game Southern come out with a flamethrower in their hands from 3. They were 7 of 8 from beyond the arc at one point. Backdoor pass to Dyson, but he can't corral it. Southern with the 2-on-1 to Zeno all the way to the hoop. And the Bethune-Cookman run is well and truly over. 14-8 Jags. Dyson to Seneca Willoughby. That's a 3, but it's in and out.
A good look for Willoughby, just can't get it to go down. And now Southern looks to slow play down, run a set play.
They will kick it out to the corner. To Zano, back to the top.
Oh
Joseph,
my.
a deep three. Oh, wow. He hit that one from Baton Rouge. He is talking to Seneca Willoughby on his way down the floor.
He is shooting from pretty much anywhere.
Wildcats will have to keep up offensively with Southern. Willoughby blows by Joseph, kick to the corner, catch and shoot. Dyson in and out. And a foul on a putback attempt off an offensive rebound by Hulsey.
A great job by Seneca Willoughby, not getting thrown off by the mind games and finding an open teammate in the corner, making the pass, putting it in a place so he could actually get it, corral it, catch and shoot opportunity. Yes, it was a miss, but the second chance opportunity gets fouled, and Hulsey is now at the line.
And just like we saw in the women's game, Southern just scores so fast. An 8-0 run in 1:48 after Bethune-Cookman had closed the gap to 1.
But one key difference between the women and the men's teams is not coming off of turnovers. It's not, they haven't forced any turnovers, or really 3 turnovers rather. But during this break and play for this run for Southern, they haven't forced any. They've simply just been running quick possessions, and then Cookman responds in kind, allowing them to go on this run that they are currently.
Now, I think Bethune-Cookman needs to slow down a little bit. They're playing at Southern's pace and not their pace, which is a slower half-court set, try to get Deshaun Dyson open for a good look. Tizeno goes left, hands to Demuse. He's double-teamed in the corner, works out of it, gets to the paint, kicks to the corner. No 3 coming for Wilkins. He'll back all the way out. Correction, this is Tyron Joseph. That's a 3, no good. Hulsey with his 7-foot reach brings down the rebound. Willoughby, odd man rush for the Wildcats. Now Southern gets back defensively, and they're gonna get a push in the back call against Joseph. And that is Joseph's second foul already. That is one way of dealing with a hot shooter. Get him in foul trouble.
Limit the...
Hulsey on the baseline. Jump skip, no good, but the tip-in is good for Elijah. And I'm looking for Elijah Hulsey to have a bounce-back game from Saturday.
Yeah. Did a good job getting that hop step in there. Misses the first opportunity, but stays with it, puts it back.
Down low, extra pass, Mitchell to the lane. Great defense by Elijah Hulsey.
And BC, the more Gym fans, the Wildcat fans, respect that defensive maneuver by Hulsey.
Pick and roll. Hulsey stepped on the baseline, and that's not Elijah's fault.
Yeah.
Good play. Dyson just didn't get the ball to him a little bit quick enough. But again, you have a 7-footer. Use him in the offense, and the Wildcats are doing that early on. And of course, that crazy defensive stand against Jordan Mitchell.
Yeah, especially not to foul him there. He's had some issues with fouling early in games in the past.
Mitchell, this time, doesn't get his revenge as the ball hangs over him and doesn't fall, but he gets his own miss. Demuse, not really a shooter, 38% from the floor. Joseph is a shooter, though. He'll drive and get fouled. We're going to see Youssef Tamara coming on into the game. 2 natives of Paris, France in this one. Tijane Damasi for Southern and Youssef Tamara for Bethune-Cookman. We were speculating pregame if they had known each other growing up in France, and the answer is I don't know.
Yeah. Paris isn't necessarily a small city, and Hulsey comes out of the game early, along with Dyson.
And we've seen the Wildcats do this, have Hulsey start the first few minutes and then go kind of like center by committee with the 6'9" Henderson, the 6'6" DJ Carter Hollinger, the 6'9" Tamara. 7 points, the Southern lead right now. The gap has been as large as 9 and as little as one, but the Wildcats have never led. Just about halfway through this opening half of play. Ward, left-hand drive all the way to the cup, too strong on the layup, but he gets his own miss, but steps on the baseline again and turns it over. That's the second time we've seen that from the Wildcats as we hit the second media timeouts.
Two possessions almost back-to-back where they have a good look going and then trying to recycle possession and ends up touching the baseline.
Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop. And well, BCU has been thrown the gauntlet by Southern early on. Southern says, if you're going to stay with us, you're going to have to score. The Wildcats have not really responded in kind as of yet, just shooting 44% from the floor.
Yep. 1 for 4 in their last 4 and 1 for 5 from 3 isn't really winning basketball, but they've done a good job defensively, at least, to not let Southern run away with it while not shooting well. That's going to be important for the Wildcats, is to try to mitigate the damage that Southern does on these streaks that they're bound to have. And the Wildcats haven't been shooting consistently for the past 2 games. So it's definitely important for them to make sure that the Southern Jaguars don't pull away, so to speak.
And it's been interesting to see what the Wildcats have done defensively against Tyrion Joseph. They've kind of gone with a switch in every interaction system, whereas as opposed to an individual man or kind of a zone concept. So we'll see with now Damani McIntyre, the SWAC's leader in steals in the game, what they do. They switch Tamara onto Joseph. Joseph blows by one defender and a second. The ball caroms off the backboard, and it's Wildcat ball as Javion Williams goes crashing into the wall as he got tangled up with Seneca Willoughby.
Yeah. And if you were paying attention, Damani McIntyre, after Tamara switched on him, immediately tried to get back over.
Another turnover for the Wildcats, as again, they can't handle the press. Oh, what a block! Wildcat ball! What a block by Damani McIntyre. He's only 6'4". He looked as tall as the Empire State Building on that one.
Known for his steals, Damani McIntyre gets up, blocks it clean, even though the player goes down in a heap.
Willoughby in traffic. Correction, that was McIntyre. Now it's Willoughby. Hands to the Frenchman, Yusuf Tamara. Ball screen, Willoughby in the corner. Now Deshaun Dyson, who's got 7 of the Wildcats' 12 points. Willoughby, nice drive, gets both defenders out of the play and scores.
A nice move by Seneca Willoughby to drive there and as you said, get both defenders in the air.
And now Damani's gonna get called for a reach-in foul, and we are on momentous occasion watch today with Damani McIntyre. He is 2 steals away from tying the all-time record for steals in a Wildcat career. If he gets 3 tonight, he becomes the all-time leader in that category.
And he still has more games to go.
They chase Antoine Jacks around the top. Tamara almost steals it away. 8 to shoot. Wildly through the lane, and missing the shot is Wilkins. A lot of contact early on in this one. Willoughby shoulder to shoulder with Wilkins. Deshaun Dyson, tough catch on that pass. He draws a double team, drives past it, and loses the ball out of bounds for a 7th Bethune-Cookman turnover in the first half. Southern does not have a turnover yet.
Wow. And the similar thing we saw against Grambling State, where Cookman was in the game doing a good job, and the turnovers just started mounting up and costing them possessions and costing them opportunities as the game continued.
7 points off turnovers for the Jags so far. Fancy footwork by Demasi as he gets all the way to the cup. Doesn't score. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Jags ball. Brente Noel was down there tussling with DJ Carter Hollinger for it. As we see the freshman Mason Dorsey come into the game to give Seneca Willoughby a rest. Willoughby and Dorsey have been the two that have kind of platooned in that Zion Williamson role. Kick to the corner, 3 on the way, short, and an offensive foul against Brente Noel.
Yeah, Zion Harmon, not Zion. I wish we had Zion Williamson.
Did I say Zion
here.
Williamson?
Man, if we had
My
Zion
apologies.
Williamson. But Zion Harmon.
Southern has attempted 17 shots to the Wildcats' 10. As you needed to know how this game is going early on. Damani McIntyre into the front court. Not known for his offensive prowess, McIntyre, but he does shoot a good 3-ball, 38% on those. Dyson hooks it back to Damani. Rifled underneath to DJ, and the ball hits him in the face, and Southern gets another steal. Weaving through traffic is Joseph, and it's blocked off the backboard by DJ Carter Hollinger. Southern with another opportunity, though. And then the Wildcats turn it over. Now 1 steal away from tying the all-time record for Damani McIntyre. Step back triple, short by Dyson.
James Harden-esque. Demasi hit his head against the ball. The buzzer rings. Nothing happens.
Yeah, the shot clock reset and everything. I'm not sure why the buzzer went off. Joseph in the corner blows by Dyson. No good on the baseline runner. Both teams finding offense hard to come by here in the last couple of minutes. Dyson attacks the closeout and just passes to the corner for McIntyre. Now the freshman Mason Dorsey from Los Angeles, California, surveys the defense, gets a screen from Timera, goes left. Into the corner, and a foul, and there will be a 3 free throw opportunity for DJ Carter Hollinger. And maybe DJ's a little bit lucky on that. Yeah. 3-pointer, not really his game. He's only hit 3 of them this season, shooting 30%. And after the media timeout, the Wildcats will have a chance to cut it to 2 with 3 attempts from the free throw line. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on Twitter and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU basketball, follow at BCU Hoops on Twitter and Instagram. We're also posting highlights from our home games here on the CatEye Network to Twitter and Instagram. So if you missed any of our broadcasts and want to know if you missed anything spectacular, like that Elijah Halsey block, well, you can find it at BCU Hoops on Twitter and Instagram.
Refs were a tad bit confused. They had to have a discussion with both coaches about who, if the media timeout was supposed to happen. The refs were calling back the Wildcat players, and Coach Diaz went out to them and was like, why are you doing that?
8:15 to go first half, a low-scoring game. Not really what we expected with the Jags in town. That's a miss for DJ on the first one. Carter Hollinger, 87% from the free throw line on the season. And he misses the first 2 of his 3-shot penalty. Southern is shooting 30% from the floor, but they have had 9 more field goal attempts than the Wildcats have. 1 of 3. Makes it a 4-point game, and that's disappointing if you're DJ.
Yeah, and I want to point out Joseph's 3 for 10 as a whole. So really reflecting Southern is basically the scoring of one man.
Demasi double-teamed, almost took the ball away. Extra pass underneath, easy layup for Tizeno off the extra pass. Good ball movement by the Jags, excuse me. Halsey back in the game for Bethune-Cookman.
Oh, I thought he was about to pull up from...
That is 100% not his game. Carter Hollinger off glass, plus uno for number 23, and he's going to get a chance for redemption at the free throw line. And now we will have the media timeouts. Don't miss a second of Wildcat basketball this season. Get your tickets to see Bethune-Cookman live at Moore Gymnasium, starting at just $15. Get your tickets today at the BCU box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. And just a reminder, coming up at the half, we'll have baseball head coach Jonathan Hernandez on the program to recap the 2023 season and find out why he's excited for 2024 at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. That's head coach Jonathan Hernandez at the half. So defensively, Henson, the Wildcats doing enough to get the job done. Offensively, what needs to change?
Yeah, defensively doing a great job, really stifling Joseph. And that's their main point scorer, obviously leading scorer on the SWAC, leading scorer on the team. By, making him a point of emphasis defensively, they've done a good job of minimizing his impact. But offensively, taking a little bit more time, we're seeing them sort of rush possessions, and it's not working in their favor. Sean Dyson has taken random step-back threes twice. He's 1 for 3. He had one good look, and then the other two were kind of heat check shots.
We got the women's basketball team up here dancing. I saw Kayla Clark putting in the moves during the timeout.
I'm glad that you're seeing my peripherals. I'm locked in.
We also got a lot of the baseball team here watching the basketball team take on Southern. Of course, the Wildcats beat Southern and eliminated them from the conference tournament in baseball back in the spring. And then Carter Hollinger will go to the line out of the timeout. And he hits the and one. So a three-point contest, 21-18. And that's kind of the style that Bethune-Cookman likes to play, is what they're showing right now. Here's a three-pointer, and that's good, as Dyson switched off of Brandon Davis. Davis, the second leading scorer on this Southern team at 10 a game.
Every Southern three is from just way downtown.
Dyson, space for the floater, too strong. Halsey with the board. Kick out for three from the corner. Yes, sir! It's Damani McIntyre. We told you he likes a three ball, and there you go.
Yeah. Doing a good job there.
That's a foul and one for Damasi. That's a ridiculous circus shot as he was falling backwards.
Yeah. And the craziest part about that is when he released that, it was like release point was almost at the ground. So he's basically doing a chest pass up to the basket down there to make that shot.
And that's a momentum killer right there if you're Bethune-Cookman, who had closed the gap to three. And now a chance to make this a 6-point game. No good. And Elijah Halsey, to me, early on has been huge. 4 rebounds, 2 of those offensive.
Yeah.
Almost a strip by Damasi as he works on the freshman Dorsey. DJ into the paint, spinning pass to Halsey, who gets fouled. What a pass. DJ Carter Hollinger showing off the cartwheel moves.
Impressive pass. Halsey on his on his P's and Q's, paying attention offensively. Backdoor cut. DJ knows he's there, kind of just spins around, throws in the ball, gets his defender up in the air, gets the foul call, now he's at the line.
I'm being called out for mistakenly calling Zion Harmon Zion Williamson. Thank you, Autumn. Halsey misses the first one.
I know you're thinking Louisiana, Southern, we had Grambling, Pelicans. It makes sense.
Gets the second 4-point contest. And if the Wildcats can keep it within maybe 4 to 8 and have a chance in the final couple of minutes, I think Coach Theus would be happy with that defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would be mad at the Wildcats holding one of the best offenses in the SWAC to a close game.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Brandon Davis from the moon.
He shot that from, none of the threes that Southern has made have been, you know, short porch threes, corner threes. It is all from their houses in Louisiana.
Talk about a heat check right there. Dyson. Foul off the ball. They're going to get Brandon Davis for that one. But yeah, I'm still kind of shell-shocked on that Brandon Davis three. He hit that from between the logo and the three-point line straight on. Wildcats are getting chances at the free throw line, but only hitting 60% today.
Something that they got to, you know, make sure that they keep doing well is getting to the line, but they got to make more of those shots, obviously, if they want to have a chance to win this game or even just stay competitive.
This is a 1-and-1 for Hulsey, and the Wildcats are now in the double bonus, so they'll shoot 2 every time they get fouled for the next 6:03, and Southern is not even in the single bonus yet, so Wildcats doing a good job playing disciplined defensive basketball. And I don't know, like, that three is big, right? But I'm not sure if, as a coach, you can really be mad at that.
Yeah. You can't, you know, you can't expect a player to hit that shot consistently.
Hulsey working hard down low, and they're going to get him for a foul against Jalen Reynolds.
DJ shrugs his shoulders towards Coach Thea, saying basically, I don't know what else you want me to do there.
Now, Southern is in the single bonus. And a steal for Mason Dorsey, the freshman to the cup, and he rolls it in. Only his second field goal of the season and his college career.
Good job having fast hands, paying attention, getting the steal. We saw him try to get one earlier and then make the fast break layup.
Going to the Damani McIntyre School of Defense. Davis tries another moonshot, misses it. And then they turn it over again on a long pass. Davis spinning and getting it blocked by Dyson. Another block for Bethune-Cookman.
And they're slowing down the possession now, really frantic at the start. Pick and roll.
Damasi threw a double team down low to the corner. Extra pass. Davis, a three. It's a 4-point play opportunity for Brandon Davis. You shut down Terron Joseph, and here comes Davis. Davis up to 11, 3 of 5 from deep. And he's gonna get a chance to really stifle this Bethune-Cookman comeback attempt.
And this is something
and put Southern up 7. Sorry, go ahead.
And this is something all the good teams can do. That even if you stop their main focal point, their main threat, they're gonna have guys and girls who are able to make up that difference.
Only 4 Southern players have found the score sheet. Davis has 11, Joseph 10, Tizeno 7, and Damasi 4. Here's Jacoby Hetty into the front court. Dyson mauled and double teamed, but he gets out of it. DJ underneath, gets it to go. Nice pass, and a way to work out of that double team by Deshaun Dyson.
Deshaun Dyson was almost certainly trapped, nowhere to really go, and still finds a way to get through and make that pass to DJ, who has a lot of work to do himself to score.
Davis again from deep, no good. Board by Jacoby Hetty. Haven't really seen him get off the mark in today's game yet.
And that's the guy, if you're a Wildcat, you want to see him to start to score, really match this production from Davis.
Dorsey, tried to get it back to Hulsey and turns it over. Look out, here comes the show.
Oh, wow.
And I guess we'll call that a dunk for Jordan Mitchell, 35-28. Every time the Wildcats seem like they're gonna get a run, they turn the ball over. They've turned it over 9 times in this first half.
Yeah, Davis did a great job of that finger roll.
Dyson open for 3, yes!
And Coach Johnson for Southern was immediately annoyed that Dyson was open.
Well, that's what happens when you double team. Somebody's open, and that somebody happened to be Deshaun Dyson. It's a timeout, Coach Kevin Johnson, and he is irate at T.J. Damasi because he doubled the wrong guy and left him open for 3, and just like that, Bethune-Cookman back within 4, Deshaun Dyson up to 10 points.
They have certainly done a great job of making sure this game isn't, coming into tonight, I bet you a lot of people at home were thinking, Southern's going to kind of run away with this. I don't think the Wildcats are going to have a good game, but they have played really well. They've done a lot to stop Joseph. Yes, Davis is coming out and playing really well, but if they could make sure that Joseph's production never really kicks up, they'll have a better chance of winning this game.
Let's introduce you to Southern head coach Kevin Johnson. He's in his first season at the helm of the Jaguars, a graduate of UT Rio Grande Valley. He was an assistant coach there out of college, also has coached at Centenary College, Louisiana Tech, Nicholls State, Louisiana Lafayette, and Tulane. He's been all over the place in the state of Louisiana. This is his first ever D1 head coaching job, was head coach at Centenary College for a few years. As a player, scored over 1,500 points and went on to play professionally in England with the Leicester Riders and the Oldham Celtics. And you were talking about coaches as players continuing their professional careers overseas, and here we are, another example of that.
Yeah, I didn't expect to hear Leicester mentioned on this broadcast, up the Foxes, but
actually, fun fact, I have a friend of mine that works for the Leicester Raiders, so.
Shout out English basketball.
All of their games are streamed on YouTube, by the way. It's good stuff. back to the basketball game we have at hand. Wildcats down by 4, 3:27 to go in the first half. Southern with the ball in the hands of Jordan Mitchell, the junior from West Memphis, Arkansas. High post, Jerron Wilkins. Back to Mitchell, round a screen, in traffic. Davis has the hot hand at the moment. Derek to Zeno, no correction, that's Mitchell, works left, gets it to Davis, catch and shoot. Front iron no good, and it goes over the backboard, Wildcat ball. Great job on defense from Bethune-Cookman there.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of minimizing their main threats. Obviously you have Davis, who's playing really well to start this game off, and Joseph, who's playing really well. So you're gonna.
Ooh, careful! That was almost a backcourt violation by DJ.
Yeah. I think Seneca just wanted to get that ball out of his hands and wasn't really looking at where he was.
Halsey back to the basket, hits Seneca, and he's stripped to the ball. It's still loose on the ground, and Southern eventually has it off the carom.
And they knocked down the wall, literally behind the basket there.
The Mousse baseline immediately doubled. He has to back up. Jump shot from way out there by Mitchell, and he missed it.
Almost looked like a floater there from basically the three-point line.
Dyson has his pass tipped. It's another Wildcat turnover. Southern keeps the ball in play, a Herculean effort, that time by Davis. T.J. Damasi, the native of Paris, France, and the transfer from Lee College, averaged 10.2 points per game at Lee last year. He goes left, and he gets the foul called against Deshaun Dyson on a reach, and that will send him to the line for a 1-and-1. Bethune-Cookman scoreless in the last 150, but has made 5 of their last 6 shots. So when they're getting good looks, they're going in, but the Southern defense has not allowed the Wildcats to get good looks because they've turned the ball over 12 times.
Yeah, these turnovers are really killing the Wildcats to start, towards this tail end of this first half.
Still just a 5-point game within striking distance for BCU. Second one is also good off the front rim. 6-point contest, 1:45 to go first half. It's just been that touch more consistent offensively for Southern than Bethune-Cookman here.
But they're doing much better than we saw them towards in that second half against Grambling State.
10 to shoot, Willoughby gets the screen. 7 to shoot. Dyson attacks the closeout. That'll be a long 2. It doesn't go. And then Southern somehow grabs the rebound. There were 3 white jerseys there, but Damasi ends up with the ball.
Great job by the Southern defense to not allow the Wildcats to get a good look in there, forcing them to take up a low percentage chance shot from Dyson.
Damasi resets with 9 to shoot, 57 on the game clock in the first half. He goes left, skips to the lane, high off the glass, and good.
Little tumble by Damasi and DJ there, no foul.
Wildcats would love something on offense. They'll close the half here, down 8. They've been down by as many as 9, so this is almost their largest deficit of the contest. Southern, 3 of their last 3 from the floor. Willoughby drives left all the way to the cup.
Goaltending.
Goaltending. And they'll count the basket for Seneca Willoughby. Timeout, Reggie Theus. And I like the aggressiveness by Seneca Willoughby to attack with his left hand.
I mean, at first I was worried that I don't think that ball would have gotten up there if it wasn't for that goaltending call. So he's probably in his head thinking that the defender closed out like that. But a good job by Seneca Willoughby, as you said, to attack there. And they've been doing a good job of attacking in general. You know, 3 for 8 for the three-point line. Similar to the story to what the women were going through. We're not hitting the threes as consistently outside of Dyson. You know, McIntyre had his 1 shot. He made his 3. But outside of Dyson, no one's really taking threes. Everybody else is driving, 11 of 19. Meanwhile, on the Southern side of things, they are shooting 13 for 32. Mind you, Bethune-Cookman has only shot 19 times. So Southern is getting more opportunities to shoot by a long shot at this point, but the game is still only within 6.
Yeah, and this is, I was gonna mention, right, this is where, as a stats nerd, right, stats can sometimes be deceiving. You look at Bethune-Cookman shooting 57% from the floor and Southern shooting 40%. If you just look at those 2 numbers, you wouldn't think that the game is at the score that it's at. But the Wildcats have turned the ball over 12 times. Southern has had 32 shots, and they've hit 6 triples. And they're going to have a chance to push the lead by more than 6 at the end of the first half. Shot clock off, 15 to go. Dembuse drives, open lane, floater good. 4 seconds left. Seneca Willoughby into the front court. Hetty from deep.
Oh!
Good Lord. Jacoby Hetty, that was his first make of the game. And it's a big one. And maybe gives the Wildcats some confidence going in to the second half.
A little bit of Hetty time. He literally shot that from almost darn near out of bounds on the right side there. Oh, no time on the clock, buzzer beater, and that's a great thing to end on if you're, as a coach, if you're a player. It's always awesome to end on a buzzer beater. And then you cut the lead down to only 5. So you go into the half only down 5. You kept up with the best team in the SWAC throughout a whole half.
We will take a halftime break. Don't go anywhere. In about a minute and a half, we'll have Coach Hernandez, the baseball head coach from Bethune-Cookman, on. And then we'll be back for the second half. You're watching Bethune-Cookman University basketball on the CatEye Network. Welcome back to more Gymnasium. My name is Michael Torello, and joining me now is head coach. Can't hear me? No? Welcome back to more Gymnasium. I am now joined by head baseball coach here at Bethune-Cookman University, Jonathan Hernandez. Coach Hernandez, welcome to the program. Glad to have you on.
Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, I got to say this energy here is electric today. So.
It always is at more Gymnasium. Well, another place where the energy is electric is down at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. You guys are getting ready to kick off your season just a little over a month away before you tip off against Stonehill College. And run me through your schedule, because once again, you guys play the best of the best in the state of Florida and outside of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal, right? Especially here at Bethune-Cookman, we have a rich history of playing tough opponents, and if we're expected, to win the SWAC championship, right, then we know we're going to be thrown in a tough regional, whether it's Miami, Florida, Florida State. So I think the schedule resembles an opportunity to play against the best and get our guys ready for us to make that jump, if we do have that opportunity to win the SWAC championship.
And I think last year, right, during that SWAC tournament, we saw the experience of playing those tough teams, the Floridas, the Florida States, the UCFs, come into play when the Wildcats rallied after that first game loss, going all the way to the championship game. Let's flash back to that tournament. Well, what did that tournament tell you about the type of program that you're building here at BCU?
I think grit. I think that, the character of the program. I think also when somebody goes through adversity in their life and they're able to overcome that adversity, it's going to set them up not only for the game of baseball, but for the game of life. I think that we're definitely on the come up, and I think that the program is, it's heading in the right direction. And that's what we wanted, just an opportunity for, us to be able to provide positivity as well to the campus community. I think we've done that.
You look at the names of players that returned from last year's squad. There aren't a lot of them, but one sticks out, that being Colton Olison, captain of the team, comes back again this year for his senior year. What does getting him back for another year mean for this team?
I think it's huge, right? Like, you can't substitute experience, right? So the fact that he's coming in for his fifth year, his senior year, he's been through everything with us, from the start when we first recruited him and the players that were in that class, to the COVID pandemic, to the 21 shutdown, to then the reboot in 22 and 23. So we're looking for some big things with Colton, not only on the field but off the field as well. And he's got to step up and be the leader that we all know that he's capable of being.
You are known as a fabulous recruiter at the junior college level, working the South Florida angle, the Mid-Florida angle. Tell us about some of the names that are joining the Wildcats this year that the fans should be excited to watch.
Yeah, so we brought in a catcher from Wabash Valley who, Wabash Valley last year was in the College World Series, George Rodriguez, so he's going to do well for us. We have Tanner Bocabello. He's a guy that we picked out of St. Pete Community College and, competing for a starting spot in the rotation for us. We have Jeffrey Gonzalez, and if Bethune-Cookman baseball fans know, the name does sound familiar because his brother, Yoang Gonzalez, was our closer for 2 years, and he's now with the Padres. But we have Jeff, and we have a couple of other guys that are going to do well for our program, and the class is something to be excited about here at Bethune.
Going back to the schedule, if you had to pick a couple of games that you really want fans to turn out for and make the Jack a great atmosphere, what would those games be?
I think opening weekend. I think that opening weekend we do bring in Stonehill College. Coach Bowen has done a phenomenal job with his program, and just coming out and seeing the guys, but highlighted. I think that any opportunity that any fan can have to come out and support our Wildcat baseball program, I mean, we're going to take it. I think we should pack the Jack, and it's just as electrifying atmosphere as it is here at Moore Gymnasium.
Talk about Northwestern. You always try to have one big team come in and get a home series early in the year. This year it's the Wildcats from Evanston. What led you to schedule them?
You know, we try and fulfill one open weekend with a Power 5 opponent. You know, we're fortunate that we're able to stay at home. You know, we don't have to travel anywhere. And I just found myself an opportunity to get in contact with those guys over at Northwestern and their assistant coach, Brian Anderson. He's a really good friend of mine. You know, he coached junior college in Arizona, so that's where the connection kicks in, where we've recruited some of his players in the junior college side of things. And I thought it was a great opportunity for our guys to bring in, you know, a Power 5 program, a Big Ten program, to come in and, you know, let's just play a 3-game set.
Last one, bit of a silly one, but I asked this to every baseball person I have on the show. Long pants or stirrups?
It's tough. I think when it's cold, I go long pants. When it's hot, I can go stirrups, you know. But, you know, it's a uniform. You know, the guys got to perform. We got to coach. We got to do what we got to do. And if we don't do our jobs, then long pants or stirrups really doesn't make a difference, right?
Thank you, Coach. Jonathan Hernandez, head coach of Bethune-Cookman Baseball. Thanks for coming on.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
It's a dance party on Greek night here at Moore Gymnasium as the Wildcats trail the Southern University Jaguars by 5 as we are at the half. Let's go through the scoring totals for the first half. First for Bethune-Cookman, Deshaun Dyson leads all scorers with 10. He's 4 for 8 from the field and 2 for 4 from 3. Elijah Halsey has 7. Derek Carter-Hollinger 6. Willoughby 4. Hetty 3 on that wild 3 from the moon before the end of the half. McIntyre 3, 1 of 1 from 3. Dorsey 2, Ward 1. For Southern, only 5 players have scored, but they've all been big. Davis has 12, including 3 massive triples. Demasi has 10. Joseph has 10. He's been kind of quiet after the first couple of minutes. Tizeno has 7, Mitchell 2. Nobody else scored, and they played a lot of other people. 7 players played but did not score for Southern. That's a full 12-man rotation for the Jags. Wildcats have just played 8.
Joseph got those 2 early fouls, and that kind of messed up his usage. They definitely wanted to save him for later in the game.
I was talking to one of the Southern women's basketball coaches during the halftime interval, and he said, is every game like this? And he meant atmosphere-wise at Moore Gymnasium. I said, oh yes, every game, especially the men's games, it gets rowdy in this place. You do not want to miss it, and you can get your tickets by going to the BCU box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Tickets start at just $15 or free with your student ID. Henson coming out of the half. Wildcats have kind of just hung on to Southern's coattails at times. Southern started really fast, and Wildcats have still never had a lead in this game. What does BCU need to do to get back in this game and maybe potentially win it?
They need to go play their offense. They need to stop trying to play with Southern, play their own type of offense, slow it down, stop with the foolish turnovers, because that's really what's been killing them, is those turnovers. 12 for them, just 2 for Southern. Mind you, coming into this game, Bethune-Cookman led the SWAC in steals. So getting more turnovers, moving in the fast break on their own terms rather than playing on the fast break because Southern wants to play fast and loose is an important thing that they need to do to shift into having a better offensive game this half.
And I don't think I can repeat this loud or often enough. We cannot turn the ball over, especially cheaply with token pressure in the backcourt. Wildcats will have the ball to begin the game. Southern has led by as many as 9. The lead is just 5 at the moment. Wildcats have not led in the contest, but BCU closed the first half going 6 for their last 7 from the floor, so maybe some signs of life out of Bethune-Cookman as we start half number 2. Southern in the light blue, trimmed in gold and white. Wildcats in the home white with maroon and gold. And I'm looking for Elijah Halsey to have a big second half. He's had a big first half, 7 points, mostly from the free throw line. He's being aggressive. He's going to the hoop. He's getting fouled.
Yeah.
We need to see more of it.
7.6 rebounds and an assist. He's been playing really well. We're on double watch for Halsey, and we should have been saying that more to start the season out, but it's really good to see him kind of coming into his own this game.
And of course, Damani McIntyre, who is not in the game right now, is 1 steal away from tying the all-time Bethune-Cookman career steals record. It is something we are watching. Hetty for 3, short. Ward diving on it, as is Reynolds. It's a jump ball, and Southern will have the possession arrow.
That's a good look from Hetty. He just doesn't make it. That's what you want. You want that open look, open corner 3 for one of your best shooters.
If you're wondering who Damani McIntyre is trying to catch, it is Michael Williams. And we have a stoppage in play as Seneca Willoughby and TJ and Demasi are going at it at the free throw line. Wildcats wanted a 5-second violation. They don't get it. Down the lane is Davis. He's forced wide into the corner. Double teamed by Willoughby and Ward. And a timeout is called by Kevin Johnson. So he burns one of his timeouts. He only has 2 left.
Coming into this, starting out this half, the Wildcats are playing with some defensive tenacity that is surely affecting how Southern's plans to play to start out this second half.
Coach Theus is talking to the referee about why didn't you call a 5-second violation when they didn't get the ball in here on the baseline. The whole crowd was wanting that one to go down. We appreciate the over 300 of you tuned in on the CatEye Network this evening. Myself, Henson White, our entire student-run broadcast crew appreciate you tuning in to catch some Wildcat and SWAC basketball. And the defensive intensity, right, really has been the hallmark of this Wildcat team ever since Reggie Theus took over 3 years ago. And something that the Wildcats need to turn into offense more. They've got the defense, but they need to turn it into offense. And they haven't been doing that enough today. Just 5 fast break points, only 2 points off turnovers for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's one thing they gotta work on. You gotta keep do that better heading into the second half. They're not even a full minute in, so a lot could happen within the next 20.
Southern with the ball after the timeout was called by first-year head coach Kevin Johnson. He's got Ronnie Bailey, Rashad Richardson, Jethro Hillman, and John Tavel in his coaching staff. And look who's back in the ball game. It's Tyron Joseph. Damasi to Davis. So Davis and Joseph are both in the game right now. Joseph steps through past Halsey, throws it off the backboard, no good.
Doesn't get the foul call he was looking for there.
Willoughby to Ward on the baseline, shovels it to Halsey in traffic. Ward picks it up and will reset. Halsey with Davis draped all over him. Deshaun Dyson to the cup, doesn't get the lay-in, and then it's an offensive foul on the rebound against DJ Carter Hollinger. No correction, that's Jacoby Hetty called for the foul. Hetty picks up his first foul. Nobody really in foul trouble on either team, nobody with more than 2.
But that 2 was enough to keep Joseph out for most of that, a good chunk of that first half. Only played 13 minutes. So that definitely helped the Wildcats defensively, not having to worry about him.
Brandon Davis, the Laplace, Louisiana native, gets it across half court. Joseph, catch and shoot. Oh boy, look out. Tarion Joseph is back. And he makes it an 8-point game. Wildcats still nothing in the second half. Halsey at the nail. He'll hand it off to Seneca Willoughby. Uses his body, can't get to the rim. Dyson, 5 to shoot, pulls up long 2, off glass, no good. Halsey with the tip-in attempt, also no. Ward grabs the long rebound. He goes to the hoop, and he gets fouled.
Really good job by Southern defensively, but an even better job, good offense beats good defense by getting that second chance opportunity, getting that rebound. Halsey tried to put it in himself, couldn't, but gets it out to his teammates, and Ward gets fouled, sent to the line here.
Reggie Ward, transferred from Riverside City College in his hometown of Chicago, gets the first one to go. Averaged 13 points and 7 rebounds and was first team all-conference at Riverside City College. And shows Bethune-Cookman over 2 power D3 offers in Simpson and CSU Stanislaus. Wildcats aggressively attack the inbounds pass again. Damasi gets it in. Into the corner, this is Derek Tizeno. Back out to the Frenchman, Tijane Damasi. Joseph around a screen. Off to the right on a three. Good box out by Ward. And then dribbles it off his foot, but is able to gather it up. Coach Johnson not happy that the Jags didn't get that turnover. The Wildcats have found it difficult to attack the basket in this game. Moving screen. And a 13th Wildcat turnover.
Coach Diaz is molding at that. You know, Red Ward definitely was not set when he placed that screen, and you know, any player.
There's more bad blood between Willoughby and Damasi. Whistle and a stoppage of play. They're going to get another foul on Bethune-Cookman. It's going to be on Hulsey. That's his second. Still nobody in the game with 3 fouls, even though the Wildcats have committed 9 and the Jaguars have committed 10. Damasi to his left, round Willoughby. Now got to pass the ball all the way out to Joseph. Heels on the logo, and he is fouled. He goes to the ground hard. And he bounces right back up. And Dyson picks up his 3rd foul, the first player to get to 3, and that's a big loss for Bethune-Cookman, who only has 2 points in the second half and is 0 of 3 from the floor. We need Deshaun Dyson to get hot in a big way as he leads the team with 10 points. And another foul, this time going to be on Willoughby. And in a complete reversal of the first half, where the Wildcats were in the bonus for the majority of it, now Southern is 2 fouls away from being in the single bonus with 17 minutes left.
Yeah, it certainly isn't where you want them to be. They already score enough as is. You don't want to send them to the line every time you foul.
Damasi, backdoor, and the layup is no good, but an offensive rebound. A 3 on the way from Davis. And Southern will take a 3 over a 2 every time.
That's good rebounding there by Southern.
Timeout Bethune-Cookman.
And a good timeout by Coach Diaz to not let it get any worse than it has started to become here. Only a 9-point difference. It might feel like they've gone on like a 15, 20-point run, but it really isn't. Only 47-38. 16 minutes left. That's plenty of basketball time.
So I've been told that Damani McIntyre has reached the career steals mark. Even though he's only credited with 1 steal in the ball game, but I trust our statisticians downstairs. He has reached the career steals mark, 175 career steals. Congratulations, Damani McIntyre.
Wish we had some like sound to play, celebratory, something. Good job, man. You're 1 away from having the record all to yourself. And then you have a lot more time to play. So obviously you're going to have the record. It's okay. Good job. But
stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on Twitter and Instagram at BCU_Athletics. For the latest on BCU basketball, follow at BCU Hoops on Twitter and Instagram. BCU needs some balls to go in the hoop right now as they are 0 for 5 to begin the second half.
Yeah. They need to figure out how to work it in to the paint more, drive a little bit more. They've been forced out by this good Southern defense. They've only really been allowing them to work the perimeter, and then turnovers have certainly not helped.
Heady round a screen, and that switch is really what's giving the Wildcats fits. Willoughby doesn't want to take the shot in the corner. Deshaun Dyson attacks the closeout, mid-range jumper, shorts. And another Southern rebound, and then a great steal by Seneca, but he threw it right to Tizeno. Joseph, practice shot, missed it long.
A good try by Willoughby to keep the ball, and he just doesn't have enough time really.
Heady, downstairs, and a jumper is good.
Good fading jumper there by Hetty to really, to numb the, stop the bleeding really. Keep this game within 7.
Scoreless over the last 2 minutes were the Wildcats. It's a 7-point lead for Southern. A 3-pointer again. Missed it. Did Tizeno. Wildcats in transition. Hetty spinning, putting up a floater short. And he is looking in anguish at the ref, wondering why that's not a foul.
Hits his knees on that shot.
Southern will slow it down. They really have no reason to push the tempo. Nice pick and roll. And through contact, Jerron Wilkins scores his first points of the game. Dyson against Davis, tries to shoot it over him, and then an offensive foul over the back on Reggie Ward. Wildcats cannot buy anything at the moment.
Yeah, Reggie Ward tries to, get that rebound, get some energy going, and does a lot of too much. Goes over the back, gets the foul call.
Don't miss a second of Wildcat basketball this season. Get your tickets to see Bethune-Cookman basketball live at Moore Gymnasium, starting at just $15. Get your tickets today at the BCU box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. We've got final scores for you from SWAC women's basketball action. Mississippi Valley State picked up their first conference win of the season, beating Texas Southern in Houston 70-69. Alabama A&M beat Alabama State 66-49. Southern outlasted Bethune-Cookman 71-66, and in double overtime, Grambling State finishes off Florida A&M 88-85. We have one men's final score that has been recorded. Mississippi Valley State getting throttled by 31 points by Texas Southern, 91-68.
That Texas Southern team men's team looks to be for real this season.
And they are coming here to Bethune-Cookman in a couple weeks. Reigning SWAC champions, Texas Southern.
And this Southern team comes in playing a very, very tough schedule. Speaking of the schedule, SWAC conference, all that. TCU, UNLV, Arizona, Illinois, Valparaiso, Marquette, Mississippi State, Tulane. None of those names I mentioned, except for maybe Valparaiso, are really slouches when it comes to basketball. All D1 programs. And they beat Mississippi State at Mississippi State.
And Mississippi State was ranked number 21 in the country when they beat them.
Yeah, they also beat UNLV as well.
This Jaguars team is not only a team that can do damage in the SWAC, but potentially could do damage in the NCAA tournament should they make it that far.
And that hopes will likely hinge on Joseph.
Joseph spinning, throwing it off the underside of the rim, no good. Hand in the air, no foul called. Dorsey. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Bethune-Cookman as Jacoby Hetty was bottled up. This, I think, via the eye test, has got to be Jacoby Hetty's least impressive performance of the season. Only 5 points for the man leading the team in scoring at 15.3. And one of them was on a circus shot at the end of the first half.
Southern's done a really, really good job of forcing them to stay on the perimeter.
Hetty, deep three, no. Offensive rebound, Dorsey. Underneath, Carter Hollinger lost the ball. Southern ball. And the Wildcat bench up in arms. Again, the Wildcats can't buy a bucket. Just 1 of 7 from the floor in the second half.
And Damani McIntyre checks in.
The jaws of this Southern defense have snapped shut since the start of the second half. Damasi, backdoor pass, easy layup for Wilkins.
Southern's done, once again, defensively has done an amazing job. See how they've already trapped him up there by the logo. They heavy press, puts him in a situation where he won't really have anybody to pass to cleanly, and they're perfectly fine with leaving Hetty there.
Largest lead of the game for Southern. And another turnover as Hetty tried to do it all himself and lost the ball. Joseph in transition. Yes. The lead is 13 for the Jags. This is very similar to the run that Southern put on Bethune-Cookman to open the game. It was 7-0 and 9-2 before the Wildcats finally entered the contest. Heady, floater, yes. Finally, the Wildcats something on offense, but they're going to need a lot more of that.
Good job by Heady getting that space and just putting that ball up, putting it in the basket, closing, you know, trying to stem the leak offensively that they've been having.
Joseph dancing, firing. Oh, a four-point play again. That is unbelievable by Tyrion Joseph.
Coach Theus and Imani McIntyre vehemently denying that that's a foul. But he gets the call, makes a tough deep three there. Deshaun Dyson comes back into the game for Tamara.
Tyrion Joseph, one of a couple players on this Southern team, another being Chase Sample, that was coached at Scotlandville High School by Carlos Sample, a former Southern standout in the late 80s. And as a head coach at Scotlandville, went to 14 straight state championship games and won 8 titles. Dyson, stutter step to the rim.
Tough layup. Good job by Deshaun Dyson getting that lane and just taking that basket.
A lot of people thought that Carlos Sample was going to be the next head coach of the Southern Jaguars when he stepped down from Scotlandville at the end of last season. His son Chase is on the team as a freshman, has not played tonight. Demasi, another backdoor pass. That's going to be a trip to the line for Jerron Wilkins, the Biloxi, Mississippi product.
And a little defensive miscommunication by Mason Dorsey. You know, he has a lot on his plate, the freshman does. The ironic thing about that deep three, that 4-point play from Joseph, was that Mason switched off of his man who was wide open in the corner just for Joseph to take that fadeaway three.
15-8 in the second half. And the lead is the largest it has been in the game, 56-44. I'm not sure I would have wanted to be a fly on the wall in the halftime locker room of Kevin Johnson. And he must have said something that got his team fired up, because they have come out like a lightning bolt in the second half.
Yeah, within this first 10 minutes, they've really pushed the tempo, pushed the pace, taken advantage of Wildcats' lackluster offense to start this half out. 4 for 5 of their last 5. Diamasi's 4 for 5 by himself. Joseph's been shooting much better this half.
18 points for Joseph. He averages 20, and there's still over 10 minutes to play. He's 6 for 17 and 4 for 10 from beyond the arc. 2 of those 4 have been 4-point plays. And he's hit 2 of his 3 free throws. We talked about double watch for Elijah Halsey. He's been off the floor for the last couple of minutes, and he continues to go to the bench. Jerron Wilkins from Biloxi, Mississippi, a senior, transferred from Pearl River Community College, where he spent his first 3 years. His freshman year, Pearl River went 28-0, won his conference and regional championship, and was the #1 national seed in the NCJAA tournament. Wilkins himself was an all-NCJAA national honorable mention, averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds. You see that a lot at the SWAC level, where there's a lot of guys in the SWAC that come from the junior college ranks. They got to look at a Power 5 school, didn't get much playing time, went to junior college, and now here in the SWAC, or even just started in JUCO. DJ Carter-Hollinger gets the foul and the bucket.
A tough bucket, a tough shot. A lot of tough shots have gone down for the Wildcats. They just haven't been able to actually get the looks that they need.
And they're shooting 50% for the floor, which is really good. Like, this team averages 42.8%, so they're 8 points over their season average from the floor. But when your opponent has 15 more shot attempts than you do and has hit 9 threes, it's kind of difficult to get anything going offensively. McIntyre runs into a screen. Demasi trapped on the time stripe. Long pass to Tizeno. He goes to the lane and gets fouled. I believe that's going to go on Reggie Ward. It is. No correction, Mason Dorsey picks up the foul.
And I have to credit Southern's defensive scheme coming out of the half, forcing the Wildcats to stay past the perimeter, switching often and frequently. Everyone's playing with 110% defensively. No one's slowing down and allowing their man to get open. And it really has messed up the flow of this Wildcats offense. We've seen possessions where either Dyson or Hetty will get the ball on the wing as he makes both free throws and won't be able to really do anything because of how they're set up.
Tizeno, a two-time Louisiana State champion at North Central High School in Melville, Louisiana, as Jacoby Hetty takes a mid-range shot, and that's really all that Southern has given to Bethune-Cookman. There's been nothing in the paint at all in this second half. Points in the paint, 20-18 overall for the game in favor of Southern. Davis, handoff, Demasi. 3 to shoot. Layup is missed, fresh 20, offensive putback, no. Wildcats will get the ball. Mason Dorsey grabs the rebound as Damani McIntyre barrels into the referee. Open 3 by McIntyre is no good.
That was Jacoby Hetty.
I hope the referee is all right.
I hope Hetty and the referee are all right. Kind of tackles the ref.
If you're a ref, I think that's bad positioning by the ref. You can't be on the floor. You got to be on the sideline there. Anyway, we continue with 10 minutes to go and a 59-47 lead for Southern. Demasi, that's a tough layup from a tight angle. And the lead grows again.
Especially if these guys running full speed. They're running 4.5s, 4.6s.
Deshaun Dyson quiet in the second half. He takes an escape dribble and throws it up, but gets fouled, so he'll go to the line. Got a little bit bailed out there.
By the whistle. Really low percentage shot. He didn't really want to take that shot. You could see it in his eyes, but he realized if he didn't take the shot, he couldn't pass it, and he didn't have if he dribbled, it's a double dribble or a travel, so he has to put the shot up. Does a good job to get the foul call, though.
Mason Dorsey will go to the line. No, correction. It will be Deshaun Dyson. I was like, well, why is Dorsey going to the line?
Just giving his teammate a high five is Dorsey.
Dyson, another Chicago product out of Corliss High School and St. Augustine University via Shaw College. He's a senior this year. It all depends on if he wants to stick around for a graduate season after this. Reggie Ward gets set to check back in. Dyson hits both free throws. Those are his first points of the second half.
And maybe that can spark something for him offensively. Help his team get back into this game.
This is Jerrion Wilkins in the game now, brother of Jerron Wilkins. Cross-court pass, Joseph in the corner, no good. Battle for the rebound, it's a jump ball, I believe.
BCU possession arrow.
No, it's gonna be a foul on Southern. So possession belongs to the Wildcats. Wildcats after this will head to Mississippi Valley State on Saturday, and then a week from today at Arkansas Pine Bluff, where they will meet one flame-throwing Joe French, who used to wear maroon and gold. He's now spending his graduate season at Arkansas Pine Bluff, and he is lighting up the SWAC. Though the referee says the foul's on number 0. Southern doesn't have number 0.
They do.
At least they do, but he's not on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he
right
is
there.
on the floor.
Noel.
I completely missed him. My apologies. 9 minutes to go. Wildcats down 61-49, shooting 30% from the floor in the second half, as opposed to 60% in the first half. The ball goes around the wing. Dyson, step back. That's all that the Wildcats have gotten, is tough step backs and long threes. They have not been able to get into the paint at all.
The spacing for the Wildcats has not been
Pick and roll,
really.
and Noel will go to the line. Another Scotlandville High School product, Brante Noel, just a sophomore. One of the 3 Scotlandville products on this team. Chase Sample and Tyrion Joseph being the other 2. This is the first one. He is 80% on his free throws for the season. That is a rare miss for Brente Noel.
Bird noises being thrown by the Moore Gym crowd towards him. And
This
they
is
seem
both.
to work.
The lead remains at 12. Deshaun Dyson surveys. He goes left. Reggie Ward, stutter step, immediate double team. Back out with 10 to shoot. Deshaun Dyson sees the lane, attacks the rim. And he hits the ground hard and will go to the line after being pushed by Jerrion Wilkins. Interesting fact about the Wilkins brothers, Jerron and Jerrion, they both went to the same high school in Biloxi, Mississippi, Biloxi High School, and they both went to Pearl River Community College to start their careers.
This brotherly love, you've paved the way for the other.
Jacoby Hetty at the line. Deshaun Dyson has picked up his 4th foul.
Unless they're twins.
That would make sense to me.
Yeah, I was like, double check their classification. I'm like, wait, they're both seniors. Hold on.
And they both play crucial roles on this team that is tops in the SWAC right now, and seems primed to maintain that record after the opening 2 weekends of conference play. 10 points the gap. Willoughby once again has the job of guarding Damasi. Damasi attacks the space. It's shoveled to the corner. 3 on the way, no good. Willoughby bounces the rebound off of Wilkins and out.
And Southern's offense has done a really good job of forcing the Wildcat defenders to crash in on the paint, leaving their three-point shooters open. You have to pick a guy to try to close in on, and they always seem to have one more pass stowed away.
Hetty to Ward. Ward working hard and gets his shot blocked by Noel. No look pass to the corner. Joseph at 3, yes. Timeout, Bethune-Cookman.
Once again, gets on that fast break. You have to pick a guy. You go to the paint, try to close down on him, and there's just an open, the worst guy on the team you'd want to see open for 3.
21 in the game for Tyrion Joseph, 5 of 12 from 3 and 2 4-point plays. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at cookman.scalefunder.com. That's cookman.scalefunder.com. Well, a big shout out to this Moore Gymnasium crowd on Greek organization night. They've shown out. The dance party at halftime that delayed our halftime interview with Coach Hernandez. It was a little so loud in here, and they've kept the energy up despite the Wildcats being down in this one.
And that's one thing about Moore Gymnasium. They're not going to give up on the Wildcats. You know, they're still behind them, still their team.
Wildcat basketball returns to Moore Gymnasium Saturday 27th for a SWAC doubleheader. Come out and catch BCU Hoops action as we host Jackson State for a pair of SWAC contests. The women are set to tip things off at 2 p.m. with the men set to follow at 4. Tickets start at $15 or free with your student ID. Can't make it? Catch all the action live on youtube.com/CatEye Network. And if you thought the home games were tough now, just wait till Jackson State comes to town, especially that women's team who was a upset loss in the SWAC semifinals last year away from three-peating as SWAC champions. They are a burgeoning dynasty down there in Mississippi.
Yeah. Jackson State has had really good athletics even after, you know, the departure of Coach Prime and all that jazz. They've had a really good basketball team for the past couple of years. Football team was solid this year as well.
Southern shows press. Ward into the front court from Willoughby. Seneca's just played that facilitator role tonight. Only has 2 points. He's being bumped by Joseph. Willoughby gets by him. No look pass to the corner. Open for 3. No good. Whistle and a stoppage of play. It's going to be a foul on Southern underneath. Jalen Reynolds picks up the foul. He's seeing his first action of the second half after playing about 10 minutes in the first.
The Darien, Georgia native. Went to South Georgia Tech, prepped at Combine Academy.
It's another 3-shot penalty here. The third of the game. The Wildcats second, and Southern's also had one.
You've seen a lot more of those three foul calls in the past couple of games. We saw a couple against Grambling State as well. Deshaun Dyson got 2.
DJ Carter Hollinger spent the first 3 seasons of his college career about as far away from Bethune-Cookman as you can get at Montana. Makes all 3 shots. Averaged 5.8 points and 3.3 rebounds in 3 seasons with the Grizzlies, and was the 2019 Big Sky Freshman of the Year. Wildcats will try a full court press, and they turn the ball over. No, it came off of Damani McIntyre last, but Southern has 4 seconds to get it across the timeline.
If I'm not mistaken, it looked like it kind of hit off the ref there.
The ref did a nice job to avoid it, jumping out of the way. Reynolds throws it way downtown over everybody's head, and if the Southern women's team was not standing there, that ball would have gone all the way down into the tunnel, into the locker room.
Down into the hallway. Would have went on a little trip down throughout Cookman campus, stopped by Harrison Rhodes.
Got something to eat.
Had the calf, went to the library, studied, came back.
Reggie Theus getting a warning. Wildcat ball. Down by 10 with 7:05 to go. Let's see if they can attack the basket here. Ward has to kick it out to Dyson. Remember, he's playing with 4 fouls.
And he's done a good job to not get fouled out to this point.
Ward, crossover, goes to the cup, and gets a blocking foul and 2 shots.
Reggie Ward loves to do like a crossover and just drive and will not pass unless absolutely necessary. And sometimes it works out like it does here, and sometimes kind of leaves him looking silly. But he's doing a good job there to get to the line.
But Reggie Ward is doing what I wish the rest of the Wildcats would do, which is try and attack the basket, right? At minimum, you're getting somebody to close in on you, which is leaving somebody open. Or you're getting a one-on-one layup.
51 shots for Southern, 35 for the Wildcats. The gap has only widened. 23 three-pointers attempted from Southern.
And that's not just off of the 15 Wildcat turnovers. Yes, that has contributed. But it's a lot of times the Wildcats are not even getting a shot up on their possessions or getting just one shot up from a bad angle contested.
They have an equal amount of three-pointers attempted as we do free throws attempted this game. Both at 23.
Those are some crazy stats. Lots of contact. Players go sprawling to the floor. Wildcats trap under the basket, and they get it into the front court with Wilkins. Here's Joseph. He looks for the three. Now he can't move his pivot foot. He's got McIntyre draped all over him. Davis drives, left-hand layup, throws it off the glass and finds it.
Our mopping crew has been extremely busy this game. A lot of tumbles from players.
Willoughby to the paint. Floater, hangs on the rim, no good. Out of bounds, Southern ball, last touch by Ward.
And Reggie Ward hits himself in the head with the ball. Not necessarily what I tell him to do, to help him get that rebound. But a good attempt from him, but just can't get enough of it. Knocks it out of bounds, gives it back to Southern.
The Wildcats shot 60% from the floor in the first half, just 25% in the second half. They leave the lane wide open. Joseph coughs up the ball, but they say he got fouled by Ward.
More Gymnasium did not like that call.
Reggie Diaz did not like that call. He jumped up and almost made it to the other end of the floor.
Coach Diaz is a rather large guy, so when he takes that step, I mean height-wise, he is going to get over where he's going pretty fast and in a hurry.
Joseph hits the first one. He's hitting free throws at 63%, which is not the best number considering his shooting acumen. But for all of his shot attempts, he's only been sent to the line 44 times this season, which also seems low.
As we've seen, he loves to shoot from outside, so it's possible he just doesn't drive as much as we think he would.
And you saw on the drive, he almost looked a little discombobulated and got bailed out by the foul call.
4 fouls for Dyson and Reggie Ward. 18 total fouls for the Wildcats. Damani McIntyre has 3 as well.
Out of bounds, the Wildcats will maintain possession, and Brandon Davis has been all over the Wildcats on both ends of the floor today. He has 17 points and 2 steals. But he is the primary guy that doubles out high on the first switch. Ward goes to the basket and scores.
Tough layup there by Reggie Ward. Seneca holds on to number 22, Diamasi there.
And Southern just content to drain some clock, up by 10 with 5:15 to go. The Wildcats have never really gone away. Joseph, whistle and a travel as he moved his pivot foot.
Yeah, he just landed awkwardly
He
there.
did, and as being helped to his feet by his teammates. He's fine.
Yeah.
Looks mostly just disappointed that he traveled. He slid both feet when he went to the ground.
Yeah, very heavy jump he took, trying to get, a hop. It wasn't even a hop step. I'd say a leap step, if anything, and just couldn't get his feet under him.
Willoughby has had the unenviable task of staring down Brandon Davis for most of the game. Dyson over to Ward. He runs into Wilkins, keeps his dribble going. Fadeaway jumper is good by Reggie Ward.
And even though it might, once again, this has been a very morale, interesting game in that sense, because it's only an 8-point deficit for the Wildcats. They've never been, they've not been getting blown out necessarily. They've been playing well in spells. It's just Southern will go on a run, and then it'll be a 12-point, 14-point lead.
Look out, here's Joseph again. He was wide open, but he missed it. Deshaun Dyson almost gets that small swipe from behind, keeps his dribble, goes to the lane, and is fouled. Jerron Wilkins, hands in the air as Deshaun Dyson goes coast to coast. Deshaun been very quiet, only 4 points in the second half after 10 in the first. He led all scorers at the break. But him having 4 fouls has limited his minutes, although he still played the most minutes on the team at 31. We wind down this opening homestand, the only 3-game homestand the Wildcats have in conference play. For the rest of the way, it's going to be week on the road, week at home. And then they'll end with 3 games on the road, Southern, Grambling State at Florida A&M. So they will mirror this road trip for the last 3 games. And that could be tough for if a Bethune-Cookman team is maybe trying to back into a playoff spot.
Yeah. You'd hope that you get your spot and at least are confirmed to get into the tournament before you get to those last couple of games. Ooh.
This is the second one, Wildcat ball. It was last touched by Wilkins.
So now you have a possibility of a 4-point possession here.
Wildcats down 7.
Still 4 minutes to go, plenty of time.
Again, no Elijah Halsey on the floor. He only has 2 fouls. He played the majority of the second half, but has not played, or excuse me, he played the majority of the first half, but has not played at all in the second half, as the Wildcats have opted to go for a smaller lineup.
Likely to try to get some points on the board. At least that'd be my assumption.
Dyson makes the catch on the inbounds pass. Turnaround jumper on the baseline, no good. It's grabbed by Joseph, he's trapped. He slides the ball to Damasi. And then into the front court, Jerron Wilkins. The Wildcats come up short on a potential 4-point possession. They only get 1. And they're still down 7. But this is the closest the game has been in quite some time, with the lead oscillating between 15 and 10 for most of the second half. 3 seconds to shoot. Joseph can make those logo jumpers, but that's a shot clock violation. And it was a combination of good defense from the Wildcats, but Southern never really looked to threaten on that possession. As we go to the final media timeout of the game, Wildcats down by 7 and have the ball. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop. So Henson, what is the road back into this game for Bethune-Cookman?
So the road back is trying to make sure that they don't score anymore, at least from deep. You can't let them hurt you from 3 anymore. That kills your morale. Every time Cookman goes on a little run, they'll hit a 3, and then all of a sudden everybody's back down in the dumps. You have to get more gymnasium into it. You have to score when you have these opportunities. Dyson's 5 for 14. Hetty's 3 for 10. Nobody outside of DJ Carter Hollinger's shooting 3 for 3. But a lot of the other players aren't taking shots, really. It's only Dyson and Hetty.
And a lot of them have been highly contested mid-rangers that are low percentage shots because the Wildcats have not been able to drive the paint.
Yeah. Reggie Ward's on double-double watch at 9 points and 7 rebounds, but I would put in Holswell. I mean, you've seen that they're getting those. If you're gonna be forced to take these mid-range shots and these tough shots, why not have a player in there that's big, could get those rebounds, reset possessions? You need that. Every second counts. You have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Wildcats will have the ball, down 7. Southern will show some token pressure. Seneca Willoughby, whoa, almost lost it, has to dribble through his legs and gets across the time stripe, 3:24. Hetty, jump pass out of a double team. Willoughby underneath, catch and shoot from the corner. No good, tip in, yes! Jacoby Hetty with the tip.
And all of a sudden, all the energy in the building's coming back.
Long
That's a
run
travel.
and a traveling violation. Brandon Davis didn't know what to do with the ball.
Didn't have an outlet pass. Nobody was by him. Kind of just floating on air for a second, and another timeout called by Southern.
Timeout Southern, and suddenly there's life in Moore Gymnasium. Wildcats down just 5. We have not seen Jacoby Hetty crash the glass like that all game. He does so and gets the tip in off the missed 3 from Dyson.
That's what you wanted. That's what you want to see a lot of these players do. You know, getting these offensive rebounds. At this point, every possession counts. You only have 3 minutes left. You have 1 timeout. You know, everybody's in the bonus, so people are gonna, you know, if you get these fouls over the backs and stuff on you trying to get these rebounds, boxing people out, it could set up your team for success. You know they like to score. You know they're probably gonna score some more. You're gonna have to make some threes. You're gonna have to make some clutch shots to close this game out, or else you're gonna lose at this point.
Wildcats just 33% from the floor in the second half, but are on a 7-0 run over the last 2:53 to close the gap to 5, and they have a chance to cut it to 1 possession after the Brandon Davis turnover. Seneca Willoughby across to Ward. Ward goes to the paint, skips through, back iron, no good, offensive rebound.
Gets out.
Dyson for 3, short, another offensive rebound for Ward. 3-point game.
All of a sudden, the Wildcats look down and out. 2 minutes 30, a steal, almost by Hetty.
Great job by Demusi to keep the ball. And we're just gonna sit back and let Moore Gymnasium speak for itself. Demusi drives, skips. Joseph off the underside of the bar. Wildcat ball! Emphatic point by the referee.
Called it like a strikeout in baseball. Hits the underside of the basket, and all of a sudden, Moore Gymnasium speaks for itself.
And from nowhere, there was no energy in this building about 5 minutes ago.
Not even 30 seconds ago.
Wildcats have not hit a 3 in a long time. But they don't need a 3.
ISO ball.
153, Hetty drives, off glass! 1-point game, 1:46 left, crowd on its feet. Joseph, he's got the hot hand for Southern with 23 points tonight. He drives, he lost the ball, but a foul. And Joseph's gonna go to the line for 2 free throws.
And that's tough. Did what you wanted him to do, play tough defense, try to get the turnover, but now you send Joseph to the line. It makes it much tougher. if you send one of their best players, the leading scorer in the SWAC heading into this game, 23 points, all of Moore Gymnasium on his back.
And Wildcat Nation celebrates it like a touchdown. We can barely hear ourselves think right now.
We are actively yelling into our microphones.
Thank you to the over 500 of you watching on the CatEye Network right now. We have witnessed 2 thrillers today.
We have a game for you.
Got the second one. 2-point game, 1:27 left.
Now
the Wildcats have built this advantage by driving to the basket. Reggie Ward into the front court. He hands the ball to Seneca Willoughby. Dyson on the wing. Dyson dancing, looking, nowhere to go. Ward to the hoop. Ties it!
That's clutch from Reggie Ward. Gets open. Everybody wanted him to take the 3. He drives, makes the tough layup. Only a minute left.
Joseph, a 3. No, that was Davis. Wildcat ball. 48 seconds to go.
Now, we've seen a buzzer beater here in Moore Gymnasium before.
Last year, it was Deshaun Dyson. Jacoby Hetty, dancing, moving left, in traffic, gets it away to Seneca Willoughby, 12 to shoot. Deshaun Dyson, could he be the hero? He drives, he puts it up, it's no good, and a foul as DJ Carter Hollinger was going to the ground. And the whole building wanted a foul on the shot, but no whistle came. 23 seconds to go in a tie ball game.
And now they're in the bonus. Everyone is tired on both teams. You could see it visibly. Hands on knees across the court.
The Wildcats will have one more shot. But will they be down 1? Will they be down 2? Or will it be a tie game? The free throws by Jerron Wilkins, who is a 63% free throw shooter on the season, will decide.
Both teams have a timeout.
It's good, the first one. Both teams are around their season average for points scored. Bethune-Cookman 73.9. Southern 75.1. The second free throw is good. It's a 2-point lead. Bethune-Cookman calls their last timeout with 23 seconds to go. And what do you draw up here if you're coach Reggie Theus? Do you drop a 3 for the win or a 2 to tie?
Well, that's a tough decision. I'm glad I'm not in his shoes. They've been shooting well, Southern has, from the free throw line as a whole. Davis is 3 for 3. Diamasi's 2 for 3. Joseph's 5 for 7. Noel's 0 for 2. Everybody on the team except for Noel, who shot a free throw, has made 1. All right? And then if you look at the 3-point percentages for the Wildcats, Hetty's 1 for 5. Dyson's 2 for 6. Willoughby's 0 for 1.
McIntyre 1 for 2, and that's it. Only 4 for 14 from 3 for the Wildcats. So I don't know. I'm not a betting man, but with the way the momentum is right now, Wildcats on a 13-3 run, I might almost try and get Reggie Ward to the hoop, maybe pick up an and one, and try and play for a potential overtime.
Yeah. Or you get real crazy with it. Try to get Southern to use their timeout. Obviously, if they shoot that 3, they're going to use their timeout, advance the ball. You make the 2, they're going to use that timeout to advance the ball and try to hold for the last shot. No matter what, we're either playing for overtime or we're going to play to win the game right here.
Here we go. 23.8 seconds left in regulation. The Wildcats are down 2 after 2 made free throws by Jerron Wilkins. And the Wildcats are out of timeouts. They can't bail themselves out if they get in trouble. Shot clock off. Seneca Willoughby gets it back in the corner. Willoughby, 8 seconds. Dyson in traffic, puts it up. Good! With 3.6 and the game is tied. Timeout, Southern.
Do you believe in miracles, Michael?
He hit an identical shot last year at the buzzer to beat Alabama State.
Now, 3.6 seconds isn't no time at all. That is certainly enough time for someone like Brandon Davis, someone like Joseph, who already both have 17 and 24 points respectively. 4 for 10 from 3, 5 for 14 from 3. They're not going to hesitate to shoot that shot if they get it.
Now, there was a similar situation to this last year in this gym. The Wildcats were tied with Alcorn State, who at that time was leading the conference in wins. Alcorn State had an inbounds pass with 2 seconds to go. They threw up a DeAndre Ayton-esque lob and won the game. So the Wildcats have been in this situation before.
History doesn't repeat itself. I would put Josue in here. You put your tallest guy on the court just in case a rebound or something happens, so at least he can hit it away or something. You put your defensive lineup in here. There's 3.6.
And you can't foul.
You can't
You
foul.
can't foul. If you don't do anything else, don't foul.
You don't have any timeouts. You can't play for possession. Just put your defensive players out there. And we put out Damani McIntyre, which is obviously a good selection.
Yeah, they did not advance the ball. I'm not sure why. Both teams out of timeouts. 3.8 seconds to go.
More Jim letting them know not to foul here.
Joseph into the front court. He gets it up. No good. And we head to overtime, tied at 71.
Lives flashed before people's eyes on that shot. After the game he's been having, I think a lot of people at home thought that was going in. But all of a sudden, we have an overtime game to show you.
We do, and I'll tell you what. Joseph got his shot. He got his shot. And it hit the front of the rim, and that's the difference between overtime and Southern walking out of here with a win. And now the Wildcats have another chance to win this game, and right now they're on a 15-3 run to close regulation. They did the opposite of what the Southern women did, ending the game on a big run to steal the win from Bethune-Cookman in the women's game. But all the Wildcats could do was force OT.
Having an excellent, excellent game for you tonight.
Come be a part of BCU Athletics and support the CatEye Network. If you or your business is interested in partnering with us here on the CatEye Network, you can reach out to the Wildcats Athletic Communications Department at bcusportsinfo@cookman.edu. A little bit of a peek behind the scenes to the broadcast table. This is the longest a doubleheader has gone all season. My laptop has died.
We're on one computer.
We're down to one stat sheet. But we've got 5 more minutes to play, Henson. This is insanity.
And my computer is certainly fighting for its life on 34%. So hopefully we do not go to double OT, because we will be running on vibes. And speaking of vibes, you can feel it here in Moore Gymnasium.
Here we go. Fouls carry over into the overtime period, so both teams in the bonus. Willoughby, what's going through his mind right now? Getting clutch minutes as a sophomore. Dyson twists, turns, loses the ball, gets it back, hands off to Ward, and he is fouled.
A magical play from Deshaun Dyson, somehow managing to have dropped the ball there, get it back, pass it to Reggie Ward, who I don't even know if he saw him, gets it to him, and fouled in the lane.
Reggie Ward has been the catalyst. 13 points tonight. And it's been his offensive drives and putbacks and offensive rebounds that have spurred this Wildcat comeback. First free throw is good.
He keeps it going here. 1 point lead.
Reggie Theus watches on stoically in his third season. The former NBA great. 19,000 career points in the NBA and 6,000 assists. He is trying to will his team across the line. They have their first lead of the game at 73-71.
In overtime.
Joseph twisting, turning. In a crowd of bodies, 10 to shoot. He goes left, he Euro steps, he scores. What a shot from Tyrion Joseph.
All by his lonesome Euro step, makes that tough layup, and now it's tied again, 4 minutes left.
We are gonna have an intense last 4 minutes of basketball. Into the corner, Ward doesn't take the three. Deshaun Dyson not on the floor for the Wildcats right now.
Damani McIntyre taking his spot.
It's Seneca Willoughby. His drive is stopped. 2 to shoot, it's out of bounds.
1 second on the
a fresh 20 for the Wildcats. And now Deshaun Dyson checks back in.
Josue was in there for that.
If anybody's gonna have to hit a clutch shot, it's gonna be Deshaun Dyson. He's already hit one to send us to overtime.
But he cannot foul. He's been on 4 fouls for about a half and then some.
Dyson pulls up, no good. Long rebound, out of bounds. Both teams says it's theirs. It's Southern ball. Wildcats want to review it. It will not be reviewed, so Southern with a chance to take the lead. Reggie Theus still pleading his case to review it.
And Seneca Willoughby taking a rest here. He's been playing
big minutes for Seneca today.
All day, basically.
30 minutes for the sophomore. 73 apiece. Damase in the corner. Here's Joseph. Gets it back. Gets a screen. Goes left twice. Into the lane again. And one.
And who is it called on?
And this could be a Wildcat fouling out. It's on Reggie Ward.
Reggie Ward's got to go sit down.
And he is gone.
A humongous effort out of him.
Ward fouls out, 15 points on 4 of 7 and 7 of 8 from the free throw line in 24 minutes of action. But Joseph goes to the line to give Southern a 3-point lead. And you knew if anybody was going to step up for the Jags in the overtime period, it's got to be the junior from Baton Rouge playing for his hometown team. Willoughby comes back in. It's DJ Carter Hollinger that's checked in for the fouled out Reggie Ward.
And a shout out to Reggie Ward Jr. for playing that well with 4 fouls, basically willing this team to be in this situation with his drives.
3-point game again. Whoever gets the last run's gonna win the game, Henson, just like the women's game. It was Southern then. It was Bethune-Cookman now, but the Jags have stolen the momentum. Willoughby baseline. Cross to Dyson. He rises and fires and misses. Southern a chance to go ahead by 2 possessions. Joseph. Trapped. Throws it ahead.
Wide open.
Underneath for an easy layup is Brandon Davis. Both teams have 1 timeout, but Coach T is holding it with a 5-point gap with 2:33 to go. These threes are going to have to start falling. DJ goes left, pulls up, scores.
Tough shot. Dirk Nowitzki-esque out of DJ, hitting that shoulder. Mopper almost gets run over on the inbound play.
(78-75). Southern trying to do what they've done all game long and just trying to hold Bethune-Cookman at arm's length. And Joseph's going to go back to the free throw line. Reggie Theus, hands in the air. It's on Damani McIntyre. That's his 4th foul. So we've now got Dyson playing with 4, McIntyre playing with 4, and Reggie Ward fouled out already.
And Joseph's been looking for this whistle all game. He's been taking tough layups, getting to hit. There's a lot of contact in his shots all game. And you can see it's kind of catching up to him. He got, limping sometimes off of the free throw.
He makes the first one. He's up to 30 points. His season high was 33, and he got that 2 days ago against FAMU.
Enjoying his trip to Florida, if anything else.
Under 2 minutes to go, and the Cats back down by 2 scores. They're going to have to rally again, but this time with Reggie Ward on the bench with 5 fouls. Hetty to Dyson. Cuts back to the right. He gets to the hole. His layup is no good, but he'll go to the free throw line.
And we'd like to thank all 720 of you guys watching this late night basketball game here on the East Coast.
The word is spread. We got a banger in Moore Gymnasium.
It's 10:25 over here. It's not 9:25 Central Time, which most of the SWAC conference runs on.
That always confuses me when I'm trying to make schedules, especially football. When we were on the road at these Central Time, and I was trying to tell the radio, oh, what time we're going on, and we got to go, oh, no, it's Eastern Time, it's Central Time.
And Deshaun Dyson makes both of those free throws, keeping this game within 1 possession. The Wildcats really need a defensive stop.
Haven't had one in overtime yet. It's been all Tyrion Joseph. Good drop to deny the pick and roll by DJ Carter-Hollinger. Joseph, step back, no good. Rebound BCU, 1:18 to go.
And there's the stop they've been looking for.
Dyson attacks. Blocking foul, 2 shots for Deshaun. And that is Wilkins' 4th foul. He's the first Jaguar to get to 4 fouls. And that is one of the benefits of playing this large rotation that Southern does. They played 14, 15 players tonight.
Yep. We saw a similar thing with the women where they had plenty of fouls distributed. It's just you have so many players, you're able to rotate them out. They had 3 centers all on a lot of fouls towards the end of that game and ended up only having 1 ejected and 1 fouling out, and still came away with the victory here.
Moore Gymnasium continues to hold its collective breath.
People have been standing for the past, I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes, as if saluting the attempts at a comeback here from their Wildcats.
Deshaun Dyson at the line. He's got a team-high 20.
Trying to be the pride of Bethune-Cookman.
And he misses the first one.
113. Could
His second free throw miss of the game, followed by his third. Wildcats still down 3, but a steal by Hetty. And he's going to go to the line.
Recycles possession. That's why you don't give up on a play. 3 seconds burn off the clock. And immediately back to the line are the Wildcats.
That's the 5th foul on Jerron Wilkins. He picks up 4 and 5 on the same possession. And that's the first Southern Jaguar gone from the game.
And Joseph having a discussion with his teammates.
He is replaced, if I can get a number, by Jalen Reynolds, the senior from Darien, Georgia. Played at Southern, before that South Georgia Tech, and was a Division II All-American. Jacoby Hetty, now a chance from the free throw line. And it's 3 straight misses for Bethune-Cookman.
Someone has put a lid on the basket here at Moore Gymnasium.
Makes the second one. It rolls in off the front rim. Wildcats need another stop. They will trap aggressively. Reynolds to Joseph.
Bounce pass.
Into the front court. Southern will reset. 1 minute to go. 2-point game, Southern with the advantage. Brandon Davis drives, stops, fouled.
Got both defenders in the air. His shoe comes off.
And you could tell that Damani McIntyre was not straight up, and he is gone, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, he is gone now, too. The second Wildcats to foul out. And we're going to rely on some Southern missed free throws coming up here from Brandon Davis, who is the best free throw shooter on the team at almost 80%, 79 and a half.
I don't think Damani McIntyre realizes he's fouled out. I had to double check our stat sheet for a second. He was just standing there on the free throw.
But now that means that the freshman Mason Dorsey is in overtime in a 2-point game. Davis toes the stripe, the transfer from Texas State. But he's had a long and storied career, the redshirt senior. A former district MVP at East St. John High School in LaPlace, Louisiana. He started his collegiate career at LSU Eunice and then Delgado Community College. Then he really found his stride at Loyola, New Orleans, where he averaged 14.7 points as that team went 37-1 and won an NII national championship. He goes 1 for 2. It's still a 3-point game, 44 seconds. Dyson, Jacoby Hetty from deep. Oh my goodness!
And a timeout is called by the Southern coaching staff. The clutch gene runs deep.
Jacoby, channeling the latter half of his first name, ties the game again.
As Moore Gymnasium sings itself delirious with 34 seconds remaining.
2 Wildcats have fouled out, McIntyre and Ward. Wilkins is gone for Southern. It is 81-81, 30 seconds left, or 34 seconds left with a 30-second shot clock. Now, if you're Southern and head coach Kevin Johnson, what are you drawing up here? You want to take a lot of time off the clock and get a high percentage shot, I think is the play, right?
Yeah, you don't have a timeout. The Wildcats have one. They won't be able to advance. We've seen that now, obviously. Won't be able to advance the time, but they'll be able to plan for themselves. You have 30 seconds of shot clock. You want to probably take that shot with 2 seconds remaining. Leave as little time as possible.
4-second difference, shot clock to game clock for the Wildcats. Obviously, you don't want to foul. If you can get a steal, great. Don't give up the three, I think, is the most important thing.
Don't get a turnover and then immediately give them the ball back. Ball security is at an all-time importance.
Wildcats will pressure the inbounds pass and try and get a steal. 4-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Reynolds the gunner. He moves left, he plays to Damasi. He gets it back. Joseph will walk into the front court with 23 seconds on the shot clock in a tie game in overtime. Joseph drives, flashes through the lane, lost the ball, he lost the ball. Dorsey picks it up. Wildcats with 13 seconds left. Dyson throws it up, no good. Offensive putback, and a foul, and a foul!
7 seconds left. I don't know why they didn't call the timeout, if I'm gonna be honest.
The Wildcats are gonna go to the free throw line to try and lead the game with 7 seconds remaining. Seneca Willoughby is down, being attended to by the trainers. What? I cannot understand this game.
I don't know why no timeout was called. I cannot lie to you folks at home.
This is nuts.
And Willoughby comes off the court.
We're at almost 800 viewers. Thank you to everybody who has stayed with us through this marathon
of a basketball game, especially if you were here for the women's game earlier. You watched a lot of basketball today.
It is now Jacoby Hetty. The crowd waits.
And with that injury to Willoughby, you have Tamara in there.
Remember, Southern does not have a timeout. So the play may be to make the first one and miss the second one long and see if you can get a carom.
And just, I would put a man on Joseph like white on rice. I wouldn't even.
Waiting for the court to be cleaned. More. And we're gonna go to the monitor to review. I'm not sure what we're gonna review.
And my question becomes, why wouldn't you have reviewed it during the time period where everyone else was, when Willoughby was hurt? Is my only question. And that's not even a, I'm trying, you know, the homer bias. That's simply logic. And now,
I'm not sure what they're reviewing. They are at the monitor. I've asked down to the table. We'll see if we can get a response.
Takes off the headset.
You know what? It's probably time on the clock.
Yeah.
They might want to put more time on the clock.
Jacoby Hetty has had about 2 to 3 minutes.
They do not put time on the clock.
To stew over this next shot. Something that could really spell what kind of season the Wildcats will have here.
It's good. The Wildcats lead for only the second time in the game. Now, what do you do here if you're Jacoby Hetty? He makes it. 7 seconds. No timeouts for Southern. Wildcats looking for a stop. The ball's thrown in. Damase looks across. The shot is up. It's no good. Rebound put back. No good. No foul. A foul is called. A foul is called. The fans stormed the court, but a foul is called. The Jaguars are going to have a chance to send it to double overtime.
And Coach Diaz is beside himself.
You got to be careful not to give it a tech.
A tech would be a tech would give them another shot. And now the question is, will they put time back on the clock?
Well, they're going to have to review two things, right? One, is the foul called before the final horn blows? And if so, how much time to put back on the clock?
Yeah.
Because the Wildcats still have a timeout. If it's a second or a second and a half, the Wildcats could call time, advance the ball, and they might have a shot to win it. So who knows what's going to happen right now? The only thing I know is that the best free throw shooter on Southern's team, Brandon Davis, is about to go to the line to potentially tie this thing up.
And the last thing you want, a little bit of concern, would really be if they review and try to find Theus for a tech, because he was out on the court.
As was half the crowd.
As was half the crowd, including some of the Southern coaching staff.
This may be the wildest game of the season.
.6 put back on the clock. Number 10, Davis, who has been important throughout this game for Southern.
He needs to make them both.
When Joseph was down and out, when he wasn't playing in that first half, it was his buckets, and he's the reason they're still in it. .6 left. Needs to make both.
He missed it! He missed the first one off the front.
Now we still have .6 seconds left.
They got to miss it and try to get the board.
He has to miss this shot and angle it somehow. And a timeout is called for the Wildcats.
This is unbelievable. I have never heard this place whipped into such a frenzy.
Hearts are pounding. The temptation of this victory, especially against a team that, if we're going to be honest, I don't think anybody online thought we were going to win this game. I don't think the student body really thought we were going to win this game, or even have a chance, if we're going to be completely frank and honest. But here with .6 seconds left, and a free throw and a possible Hail Mary, DeAndre Ayton type of play. Now, mind you, here at Moore Gymnasium, we still have manual clock maneuvers. So if it hits the rim and the person on it doesn't immediately hit that button and give them an extra couple of halves of a second, that could spell a completely different game.
Here we go.
As
Wildcats have to box out here. 83-81, .6. Davis at the line. He's going to try and miss it and put a rebound back up. He missed it. Elijah Jose gets the board, and this one belongs to the maroon and gold. They don't call it Moore Magic for nothing. The Wildcats win the ball game in overtime, 83-81. They only led for a combined 5 seconds in the game, but that's all they needed.
If this doesn't tell you something about this Wildcats team, is that there is no giving up. They were down 15 at a certain point. When we went into halftime, we were thinking, man, we're gonna have to stall this out. We were worried that it might get drawn out, but Reggie, I would like to give a special shout out to Reggie Ward Jr., whose drives late or midway through that second half were the only points really being scored for that Cookman offense. His determination really represented the general heart of this Wildcats team to close this game out and win in overtime at home.
the Wildcats go to 2-1 in conference play and 7-9 overall. Southern loses their first conference game. They're 3-1 in the SWAC and 9-8 overall. Let's get to the scoring totals, please, before I lose my voice.
Before my computer dies.
For Southern, Joseph had 31, his second highest scoring output of the season. He was fabulous. Yeah. Davis had 20, Diamasi had 12, Tenezo had 8, Wilkins had 8, Mitchell had 2. That's it. Only 6 players for Southern scored in the contest, and they played 15 players.
6 players scoring for them out of the 15, as you said, and this was an overtime game. Diamasi played 43 minutes by himself.
Here are the Wildcat scores. Jacoby Hetty and Deshaun Dyson both had 19. Deshaun gets the moment of the game, the big 3 to tie it and send it to OT. And then clutch free throws down the stretch for Dyson. Reggie Ward had 15, most of those in the second half when the Wildcats were down and we thought out. DJ Carter Hollinger had 14. Elijah Halsey, 7 and 7, almost a double-double for him in only 21 minutes. Seneca Willoughby, monster minutes for the sophomore. He only had 4 points. Damani McIntyre does enough to get the tie for the all-time steals lead in Bethune-Cookman history, 175 career steals. Mason Dorsey, 2 points for the freshman who played some big minutes in overtime after a couple of foul outs, and Yusuf Tamara played but did not score. He only played 6 minutes. Team stats, Bethune-Cookman once again out-rebounded their opponent by over 10, 36-24. They got 2 more offensive rebounds, and the second chance points, 13 for Bethune-Cookman, were crucial down the stretch, especially those 2 Reggie Ward tip-ins off Dyson missed threes.
Yep, and I want to say Elijah Jose started the game out well. We thought maybe deserved some more playing time and gets that clutch moment at the end, making sure nobody was touching that ball after it bounced off the backboard and ending the game for the maroon and gold.
Wildcats turned the ball over 15 times. They turned the ball over 12 times in the first half, only 3 times in the second half. A Herculean effort for the Wildcats in that front. They got 4 blocks to Southern's 1. Only 7 points on the fast break to Southern's 13. Only 4 steals for a team that averages tops in the SWAC in steals. So not the best defensive game, but we knew Southern, a crazy good offensive team. Great shooters all the way around, specifically Joseph and Davis. They got really hot at times. We thought that they were going to just kind of blow us out of the building at one point early on in the second half when we were down by 15 points. Second chance points, 13-9. I already mentioned that's huge. Points in the paint, even 30-28 for Southern. That all adds up to your final score. Bethune-Cookman 83, Southern 81 in overtime. Henson, wrap this one up for us.
I mean, a brilliant performance by both teams. They left it all out there on the court. Southern, for a long period, was, in complete control of this game, really defensively stout, wouldn't allow the Wildcats to get any of their offense in. And then, those drives started happening. Turnovers started occurring in the Wildcats' favor. Defensive pressure from a variety of players. Hetty, Dyson, Carter Hollinger did a great job in his minutes, especially replacing Holsway as that main interior force and defender for large periods of this game. Dorsey, the freshman that no one thought would get this many minutes, playing his heart out. Only scoring 2 points, but played huge minutes and didn't make a mistake. And that's the most important thing. It was more about who blinked first at the end of the game, and the Wildcats' eyes are still wide open.
That'll do it. Once again, your final score, Southern 81, Bethune-Cookman 83. It's an overtime win for the Maroon and Gold. For CatEye Network Director Eugene Robinson, producer Darian McCaskill, SID's Bryce Wojnowski and Brian Harvey, my analyst Henson White, and our entire CatEye Network crew here at Moore Gymnasium, this student crew that does so much work behind the scenes to get this program on the air every single week. My name is Michael Trurillo. Thank you so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks for more Wildcat basketball. Have a good night, and hail Wildcats.